Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today you might be able to hear what we're doing, but we're going to dive into Botania and get this build done. So I hope you guys are ready. Well, I've converted. My mob farm, that is. Look at that. We now have skeletons. Well, it's temporary. It's temporary. I have a ton of creeper spawn eggs, so I figured I would go ahead and put one of the skeleton spawn eggs that I have on here just so I can get some bone. We're gonna need a lot of bone today, or at least I'm gonna need a lot of bone in general. This is just going to get me the bone I need. So I'm gonna be here for a little bit as I let this build up. I would love to have the spawner go faster, but the problem with doing that is it can become kind of overwhelming, especially with items and stuff. So having it go at a fairly quick pace that it's already going at is good enough for me. And it's nice that I can kind of change this, you know, to whatever I really need. If I want to change this to wither skeletons, it would still work for wither skeletons or whatever else I might need. So as you can see, there's a couple of new things on the screen. Up in the top left-hand corner, we now have a timer that is going on for our potions. I really like that. I did go ahead and customize the thing to the right though. However, I have not restarted my my game yet. So what I did change was to have the armor only pop up there if we drop below a specific durability, like below 15%, I think is a good number. But anyways, I've got this mostly done. How's this looking? Look at this. We got a nice, beautiful area here, and then I have these open areas over here for some custom automation stuff that we might try to do, having different mana spreaders do different things. But this is going to be our Britannia Zone, and yeah, I've got it mostly cleared out. Got a little pathway that makes it easy to get in and out and doesn't look too horrible. I still would like to get some leaves placed in here of different types, and that would kind of top everything off, make it look a lot better. Of course, the lamps are going to go. We're going to have hanging lamps, I do believe. So that way I can change the colors and maybe incorporate like some mana, since green, like have some green lamps. That would be really cool. Green and light blue, like have some mana style. That would be, oh, man, I'm already coming up with ideas. Look at that. I love how also the different colors here, like I don't even need to decorate the walls. Like it's just naturally beautiful. Okay, I really like the colors. So that's going to work out perfectly. Now I do need this bone, all this bone and stuff that I had just acquired. We're going to need to use that. However, we also need red, and I guess it would be poppies, wouldn't it? We need some poppies, and we also need some dandelions. Just one, like just enough to get us some dye, like 2 pieces of dye of each color. And of course, this is Botania, so there's a little bit of grind you got to do early on, but not too much. So let's get some bone meal right here. And we combine this, and we get ourselves some floral fertilizer. Bam, get us started. Already, we don't, like at this point, the only thing we need is bone meal. We don't need any more poppies or anything like that, because we can take any of these flowers and turn them into the petals. And then from the petals, we can duplicate them. And I always like to show this because it kind of surprises people all the time that you can do this. So if you take a petal and you plant it on the ground, you can see it's kind of got a sparkly effect, just kind of a little bit. You hit it with bone meal, turns it into a 2 tall. And then I can use shears on this, which I do have an indestructible shear, by the way. But yeah, if I use this shear on there, you can see that was only 1 petal, correct? So we have a tall one. Put that in there, that 1 turns into 4. Yeah, that's really nice. And then you can repeat this process. And basically what you're going to do is use a mortar, pestle and mortar, right? And this right here will turn that into floral powder, right? Of course, I still have 1 left. You want to make sure not to turn it all into this. And then we grab some bone meal, and then we just repeat this process as we go. And you can see I get more floral fertilizer, which means I can, of course, grab some more colors. I need all 16 colors, and I'm pretty much going to be doing this process. I don't know if I can automate it. That would actually be something that I would love to set up. We should do that. We should set up some automation system for this. Oh, that's going to be fantastic. So I think I have just the plan for this, right? So I do need myself another dispenser, right? I think. So I need a dropper. I don't need. It's definitely a dispenser. So, let's go ahead and make a dispenser real quick. This is actually going to be really nice. It's gonna be really cool to see how this works. I think I can actually use this. Yep. So we don't waste anything. And what this can actually do is place blocks as well. I think that's a quirk feature that does that. And so what this is going to allow me to do, I actually might build it over here, is it's going to be a very compact setup. We're going to have a block here, like this, a dispenser here. We're going to have a dispenser over this way, facing that. And it's going to be basically working on this same block right here. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. It's not fully automated, as though I do need to stand here, because there's not really a good block that can use shears that is in this pack. We don't have like a user or anything that will work. So it's something we have to deal with. And then I think I can just place the this timer from RF Tools right on here. And I have it set to 4. So you will need to change this. This is set by default set to 20. If you set it to 4, of course it's going to make this noise. But what I should be able to do is bring over some redstone. Of course, this is going to be right here. Bring over some redstone just so I can turn this on and off. And we can activate this at the same time, right? That right there should shut it off, so long as we have this checked. There we go. Now they're both synchronized, and that's what we want. So we can turn this on and off, as you can see right here. Now to get this started, you are going to need some petals. Let's just start with one real quick, just to see how it's going to function. So this one's going to place, and this one's going to bone mill. And then we are going to basically face right here with our shears, and our shears are going to break the top block, so we won't actually be touching. So we can actually look right here, and you're going to see when this petal grows. Let me go ahead and put some bone mill, good amount of it, and we'll get this going. So I'll put the bone mill in here, put this on. You can see it immediately turned into a full petal, and then we can just hold that right there. And then, of course, we're able to keep duplicating this. As you see right there. Of course, you don't want to have these placed in there, but the petals are just going to keep duplicating really fast. It's, yeah, pretty crazy how fast that is going to allow you to duplicate. So you don't have to manually place these down on the ground. I'm trying to do more creative things like this, and I think this works out perfect for that. Now that we got all the grindy stuff out of the way, and if you are interested in kind of more information on how and what I just have done, I have so many videos actually on Botania itself, and there's so much more I want to show than just the intro. So there is a lot of stuff early on that you have to do, and kind of the stuff that I showed. But anyways, let's get into the fun stuff, and that is generating mana. This is honestly my favorite thing to do, and I'm going to go ahead and place down some mana spreaders real quick, 8 of them, and you see I've placed blocks underneath them. Well, I'm actually going to replace these with something else, and it's going to give it a little bit of a look. I think these are fantastic. Even though these are petal apothecaries, they still look fantastic underneath the mana spreaders, giving them like a support beam, and it really fits this room. It really does. And you can use these for all kinds of stuff, like let me kind of look at here. Apothecaries can do all kinds of stuff. Like you can place a block on top of them, like, and it honestly looks like it's being supported. So if we jump up here, you can see now it looks like it's being supported. I think you can even put a pressure plate. So like if we have some wood, for example, we make a pressure plate. I think a pressure plate can go in here, and this could honestly, nope, pressure plates cannot go in there. But still, like slabs, stuff like that. And you can also, if you have any item like holding blocks, like that would be a really cool thing too. Like maybe an item frame or something might be able to go on top of it. Who knows? But still, it's a cool looking block, and it fits this theme really well. Now, I need to make a wand. Go ahead and get myself the wand of the forest here. I'm going a little bit more whimsical with orange and green because I actually want to add some more orange and green lamps in here. I know these are already this color, like an orangish color, but I think adding some like lime green to this will really help stand out. And you can see right here that these are definitely attached to these fences, and that's because we are using this all throughout our base. So I want to kind of keep that theme. But let's go ahead and get some endo flames placed down, and then I'm going to show you how I want to set some automation up. It's going to be kind of cool. Like, I have some ideas for like wireless automation of this, and there is a standard way. I'm going to show you how to do that way as well. Let me show you how I want to place these flowers. So you want to place the mana spreader first, and then place the flowers, so that way the flowers automatically link. And you can see that when you use the wand. When you look at it, you see the block is highlighted. That means that that is the mana spreader that this is connected to, and vice versa for some other flowers. So I want to leave this block right here empty. So what we're going to do is actually extend this out. So this is going to be like, these should automatically connect to the closest one nearby, and it does count blockwise. So if we leave that spot empty, this right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if I put one here, that's 6. You want to kind of keep 6 per mana spreader, at least with the base tier mana spreaders. They don't really handle more than that, and you'll just end up wasting mana at that point. So like I said, leave this space, and this space works out fantastic for what we're going to set up. And I just got to go all the way around with these. So I need like 40 something. I think there's 8. 6 is like 42. So yeah, that's exactly what we need. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about how I go about automating this so you can understand the logistics of it. So what we need is to think of this slot right here as what we're going to do, but I'm going to place it over here instead. So we need to drop items onto this plate via this open crate. This open crate will drop items when given a hopper on the top. When you place it in there, you see it immediately drops the item. So what we need to do is we need to transfer the power to our hopper, and we need to use the redstone to control the hopper, as this can't be controlled with redstone. To do that, we can place a hopper like so, and if you see, we can transfer this redstone signal, not into this block, but it can be transferred over and up. However, we do need some slabs in order to make this work. So, connected here, if we go up one block like this, and I tend to like to do, well, that actually will work, but what I tend to do is place a single slab here, and this is how easy this redstone is. Bam, bam. So once an item goes in here, when the item is on the pressure plate, until it's consumed, it will not drop another one. So at the moment, with that on there, it's powering the hopper. So we need to base our setup off of this logic. So with something on the pressure plate, it's giving a redstone signal, which should turn the hopper off until something comes off. So what I want to do is set up some wireless transmitters in order to get this in the roof. So I want to have the open crate, but I want the open crate to drop the item from the roof onto a pressure plate that's down here where it's hidden. And then on the bottom of this block, I want to place a wireless transmitter to send to a wireless receiver, which is going to be in the hopper that is setting above the open crate. But we also need some sort of chesting system to get items into this hopper. So we're going to use some item pipes, and we're going to use our coal farm that we already have set up. We already have a charcoal farm. We're going to use that charcoal farm and send everything over via some chests. I know, it sounds complicated, but let's put it into practice. So as you can see, I'm still having problems with this. I don't understand why this is doing what it's doing. These are working, these are not. Maybe actually with the update, let's get a key. And maybe this mod was actually updated? I don't know. I'm still kind of confused why this like functions. Maybe I need to remove the hopper so nothing's being pulled out, and then like then lock it and then place the hopper. Maybe that will get it to function properly. Okay, so I have all the items anyways. I need to actually remove these, and I don't know, is tape added yet? It's not, so I guess I have to remove all of these onto the ground for right now. Yeah, don't recommend this on the server. A lot of items there. Okay, so we also have piping underneath this. I'm gonna go ahead and place this, and then start placing all of these items in here. And you can see it turns them into blocks automatically, which is exactly what we want. So I want to use charcoal, and I kind of, I thought about using mechanism pipes for this, but you need a logistical sorter for that. and just a whole mess of things. So I just want to go ahead and just make this simple. Right here we have a filter, and I should be able to put a filter on here, I believe, if it lets me. Not noticing blacklist filter. Okay, so do I need, so this has to be upgraded to at least a tier 3 in order to use filtering. So we're going to use just a standard pipe, but we're going to need a filter. I'm going to set this right here to charcoal block to filter, and we're going to set this to whitelist filter mode. And that should be fine. That should be plenty. And then we're going to send this into the black ender chest. Now, is that working? There we go. And it's sending the items pretty quickly, which is exactly what we want. And this should continue generating. Of course, the more we do, the more, the longer we spend in this world, the more that'll have time to generate. And I end up spending a surprisingly long amount of time in these worlds, but believe it or not. So with that set up, we can come back down here and actually finish up the ceiling. So right above these pressure plates is where I need to get this work done. And honestly, I'll go ahead and show you what the setup looks down here. Well, actually, no, let's go ahead and get this built. First of all, let's go underneath this block, and then we need to set up the transmitter, because the receiver, if I remember correctly, it says you need to right click on a transmitter. So the receiver is what's going to receive the signal. So we need to place the transmitter first. So we need to know what's going to send the signal before we can make that call. So I need to place this underneath here. So right here, underneath this block, this is the block we're working with. And if I place it like this, it's facing the right way. You can see that it should be able to, hold on, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, I think this was backwards. I had to place it on the bottom. This is still a transmitter, and this is correct. So let's go ahead and get one of our receivers, and I just need to right click it on there to set it to channel 2. And then we can hop back out of here, because this is actually done. Here. Work is done there, and we're good. Just need to place our dirt block, and then we need to make our way up to the roof. So I'm just going to grab some cobble and make my way to the ceiling, where I need to do a little bit of work there as well. And looks like we're going to be in kind of an odd spot here, right here. So make myself a little bit of space, and then you'll be able to see what I'm doing when I get up there. So now that I'm here, open crate, right? And then we need a hopper on that. And then on top of that, we do the chest, right? But I want to get the redstone set up first before I put the chest on, because that can honestly cause a lot of problems if we don't do that. So here's the redstone receiver. I should be able to place it on this side of the block. That should send a signal as soon as we put this chest on top. It should drop a block as soon as there's not a block underneath it, of course. Like I said, there is one right now, so that makes it a little bit of a problem. I just need to kind of fill this in as best I can, you know, with what I'm working with here. And yeah, take a little bit of fall damage. All right. So all I got to do is remove this temporary scaffolding that we have set up. Oh man, this is a nightmare. And let's just see if this functions. Okay. So, of course, I need to take this off. Oh my goodness. And it did look like it dropped 2 by the time... It dropped 2 or 3. That's not the best case scenario. Like, it is dropping really fast. But I think that will work. It's not horrible, but it gets the job done. So to tell you, this new version of Botania, oh, it is so much better. Look at this. We can actually see the mana spreader, the actual mana increasing without actively clicking on the block. And I think the same goes for this. We don't have to click on it now in order to see the updates occur. They just happen. Wow, that is actually really fantastic. And look how fast we're filling these pools. That's why I said this sort of setup is really powerful. But later on, I do want to set up some different kinds of stuff that does that. Look at that. They just consumed all that. Like, this actually worked really good. Now, one thing I definitely need to do, like, right away is to get this thing upgraded a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of iron to get some mana steel ingots. And then I'm going to use that mana steel to make ourselves a mana splitter. So a mana splitter is going to be real nice. We need to also get ourselves some living rock. Because we need to make 3 more mana pools. Just like that. And then we also need, on top of everything else, we need ourselves I believe it is a mana tablet. Right? So I need either a pearl or a diamond. I'm going to go ahead and do a pearl. Because we have so many. We have access to so many ender pearls. It's crazy. So we have that. That will make a tablet. Mana tablet. Somewhere. There we go. And perfect. So this mana tablet is going to let us pull all this mana so we don't waste it. I definitely don't want to waste this mana. And we're going to send a tablet. You can shift right click on here to enable that or disable that. The transferring of different ways. And then once we get that, I'm going to go ahead and remove this mana pool. And I'm going to place that spreader and it will be able to send to all the different mana pools. As soon as we break this, we place this back, we can start placing the pools to the side, and you can see they're now all filling up. And I don't think we have to readjust this. It is going in here, and it's not going like directly into these pools. It's actually splitting between them all. So now we're filling up 4 mana pools versus 1, creating ourselves a little bit of a mana battery. Getting started with the Runic Altar, which is pretty easy to make. I have all the items in my inventory. If you're interested in what it takes to actually make this, to make all of these runes right here, here is the list. Of course, the redstone itself needs to be converted, and then that ends up making mana powder. And then, of course, to make the Rune of Mana, we are going to need this many items. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Rune of Mana to kind of make it simple. So we need 5 ingots. You just right-click all 5 on there, and then you right-click a mana pearl, and you can see it's not getting mana. That's because we need to divert some of these to here in order to give it mana. I'm going to go ahead and just send these 4 right here over. The more you give it, the quicker it is going to go. So if I divert all of these onto here, it's actually going to be pretty quick, and you can see it's done. Then you need living rock. You place that by right-clicking it. It places it onto the top, and then you just click it with a wand, and there we go. We have our first rune. And you're going to need all of the basic runes, which is going to entail water, fire, earth, and air, and also mana to really get anywhere into the gist of this mod, which then it becomes really fun. So I recommend as soon as you can get this and you're producing enough mana to go ahead and make yourself a Terra Steel or terrestrial agglomeration plate, as you are really going to need this. I'm going to go ahead and show you the build for this. It's not that difficult. I believe you need 4 blocks of lapis, and you need living rock. And this is pretty simple, and I'm actually going to use this area for this specific setup. So from right here, I'm going to kind of try to line this up as best as possible. I'm going to place it right here, and let's go ahead and count this as our main block. And right underneath that is going to go the Terra Steel agglomeration plate. I'm going to wait to place it though. Let's go ahead and get the pattern built up. So right here, let's go ahead and make a little square. And here's the pattern. Pretty simple, right? Just like this. Bam, 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 bam. And then, of course, our 4 lapis blocks, which go like this. Then right in the center, the agglomeration plate. I keep calling it Terra Steel, but it's terrestrial agglomeration plate. And then we need to get into sparks, because sparks are really going to change how this all functions. But sparks will be able to reach all the way over here from here. But yeah, we need a little bit more mana. I do have a whole mana tablet, which technically would get me 1 piece of Terra Steel. But we still have a lot of work ahead of us before we can open ourselves a portal. By the way, I don't need this for right now. I can always set it up later. Yeah, look at all that bone meal. This is where we're going to put our portal to the Alfheim dimension, which we can't actually go into, but we can trade items, which actually is kind of nice. Now, sparks are really interesting in how they work. I'm going to go ahead and make 5 of them. We have 4 mana pools, so I'm going to need 5, because we need to place 1 on all of the mana pools, and also 1 over here. So let's go ahead and place 1 right on top of this. You click on the block, and it's going to place it right here. And you can kind of see while you can kind of see a little thing floating in here. You can actually change these from like recessive, dominant. You can make them basically neglect or not worry about other mana pools. These basically change how mana can be sent back and forth between mana pools, and it happens really quickly. But it can also be used to power certain things like this. You can power this with mana spreaders. Believe me, you don't want to do it that way. You want to do it this way. It can save you a ton of time. I'm going to go ahead and just dump this tablet into this mana pool. And you're going to see as this is filling up, I love that I don't have to click on it. As long as this is above a half a mana pool, we should be able to make our first piece of Terra Steel. And making one piece of Terra Steel is actually really useful because it actually just one. That's all we need is just one. And we can actually get an Alpine portal built. So let's go ahead and see what we can do now. So to make Terra Steel, it is a mana diamond and a mana pearl and a piece of mana steel. So let's grab a diamond. As I don't have mana diamonds yet, I need to just make one. So I'll just do a quick toss in here, and there we go. So what we can do is I can keep these items in my hotbar, and we can just right click them on there. And as soon as they're on this plate, it's going to start generating Terra Steel. Just like that. Maybe not. Is this too far away for mana? I wonder. Well, I may have derped. I think this is too far away. I think it can only go 16 blocks or something like that. So I have gone a little bit too far. Please work this time. It's gotta work this time. All right, it's got to. Let's make sure it's connected. It's connected. Okay, so now I know it will work. So let's go ahead and place this, and this. Oh, goodness. And look at all the mana flowing in. How pretty is that? And that should happen real quick. And bam, Dancer in the dark. We now have our first piece of Terra Steel. Now, Terra Steel is absolutely fantastic. As I was saying, it's going to be used to make a portal. But, well, we don't really have enough time today to go ahead and get into the portal, as I did spend a lot of time getting this set up. But we are going to be getting that set up next episode and diving into some really fun things that we can do with Botania now that we have it set up. Well, today I want to give a huge shout out to, of course, one of my amazing Patreons, and that is Dead Fodder. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and get a beautiful sign for you. I think we should probably put it right here and say thanks to Dead Fodder. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and turn this magenta. Oh man, that looks really good. I really like the way magenta looks. This is fantastic. I went ahead and even added the colored lanterns now, as that was the last thing I was missing. I was trying to debate whether or not going between the dark blue, which I actually prefer the light blue style, and then also the magenta I actually prefer over the pink, even though they are both very similar-ish. The magenta definitely has some more purplish tones to it, but all of these are really, really nice and totally fit within the mod. The colors. I like the blue. However, the blue could look a little bit more like mana. That would be really cool if we had like a more of a mana steel-ish color blue. That'd be kind of cool. But overall, things look fantastic, and we're generating mana faster than yeah, you would think. This works so good. As long as you have a constant source of charcoal, you're good to go. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next episode, and as always, thanks for watching.